Hey everybody, it's Richard at Richard's Vinyl Tap House. Welcome back. A few days ago, Cam over at the Vinyl Narrative posted 5 albums that he would never sell from his collection and set up a challenge for several of us to do a response to this and share what 5 albums we would never sell from our collection. And I agonized over this for days. What do you choose? How do you frame this? So I finally came up with a way of thinking outside the box and realizing these are not just the only 5 records you will never sell. There are many, of course, especially for those of us with fairly large collections. I kind of divided it into different decades, but also different reasons for why I chose them. So I'm going to start with 1979 and an album that really changed my perception on what music had to be, for lack of a better descriptor. Public Image Limited, second edition, metal box, whatever you want to call it, really challenged me to be open to different types of music. I was pretty stagnant in the 70s and into Kiss and mainstream pop and Journey and all that stuff. And this took me outside of my comfort zone. This is a difficult album to listen to, especially when you're 15, give or take at the time, however old I was. This is my original from 1979 on Warner. Finding an original of this one now is a challenge. The metal box version is damn near impossible. I wish I had one of those. But yeah, I would never sell this just because it is an album that kind of took me out of my comfort zone to explore different types of music in a big, huge way. And that was hugely influential. Second one is from 87, and it was a monster of an album upon release. It turned this band into one of the biggest bands in the world, and it was U2, and this is the Joshua Tree. Why is this significant? Why would I never sell it? This is the original from 87, bought around the same time I was getting into CDs, and it was, started playing more CDs. By the 90s, I was fully into CDs. But anyhow, 1987, this came out. It was a monster. I was able to go see them on this tour in Minneapolis, St. Paul. A mess of us from my hometown drove all the way to Minneapolis, St. Paul, went to U2 at the St. Paul Civic Center in November. I don't remember if it was cold, but I'm assuming it was. But every song off of this pretty much was played that night, and it was the true religious experience concert. So not only is this an original vinyl with all the goodies, with the poster, it also has, if I could find it, an article stuck in here, kind of a review of the concert that night. There's a 2-pager. I can't find the other piece stuck in there. But anyway, so that's kind of like a keepsake of a phenomenal concert. First of many big concerts in my life. This was one of the biggest up to that time. So yes, I would never ever sell this. And I'd still have the ticket stub from the night. $17.50 to see U2 the Joshua Tree Tour in 1987. Tell me ticket prices haven't gotten obscene. Staying in the 80s, pushing into the 90s, I think this came out in 89. I've said many, many times that this is my favorite album on the face of the earth, and for a lot of reasons. If I had to lose and sell all of my shoegaze albums, I will never sell my Bloody Valentine's Loveless. Particularly this edition, which is the Domino edition. That was a reissue that came out a few years ago, tweaked in some way, shape, or form. It does sound, to my ears, marginally better than other editions of this that have come out over time. For me, this is one of those solid shoegaze albums that I play from beginning to end. No stopping, no getting up to go to the bathroom, whatever. I have to listen to the whole thing. It is just experimental beyond belief. And it's one of those albums I've told you before. I hated this when I first heard it. Now it's my favorite album on the planet. When it clicks, and it clicks hard. It is a beautifully sonic and amazing album that leaves a lot open for discovery over time. Love it. Will never sell that. No, 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 no. Another artist I have massive respect for. Um, kind of, did a change in the '90s, and that's when Bob Mould dropped in to be Sugar. His second trio of sorts in his career. Sugar's Copper Blue came out and rocked my world in huge ways. I would not sell this one for one particular reason, is that it's the double version of free issue from Newberry Comics on, gotta show the vinyl. It's kind of blue swirly thing. Not that that matters, but hey, it sure looks cool. This to me kind of represents the two sides of Bob Mould. The upbeat, power pop master, guitar master, and lyricist that he was with Sugar, and then the dark side of Bob Mould with Beaster, which is, just yeah, an exercise in contrast. But big props to Bob Mould. His career I've followed since his early days with Husker Du up till the current time. I would never sell this album for that. So, last but not least, you knew it was coming. It had to be Gary Numan. But which one is it going to be? Well, there's several that I would not sell. This one, for many reasons. This is original of Gary Numan's Splinter Songs from Broken Mind. Early 2000s? No, 2013. Amazing album. Really hard to find now already. It hasn't been reissued since 2013 on vinyl, at least not to my knowledge. Saw him a couple of times on this tour, and I had this signed in person in the parking lot of all places. Got to meet with him, talk for a while. This album kind of defines the current era of Gary Numan's industrial sound and heaviness, and I've been a massive, massive fan. There are several Gary Numan albums I will not sell, but this is definitely up there on that list. So there you have it. 5 albums I would not sell if I absolutely had to. Hopefully I never have to. There you go. Looking forward to hearing other responses to this one. There have been some really good ones, and it really helped me get my head around how to do this. So there you go. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Be thinking, what albums might you not sell? Put it in the comments. We'll talk. All right. Over and out. Bye.